Let's welcome our Dragon Empress back to Arena.
7K Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We'll be looking at Mythical Awakened Rin in Grand Arena, but before that, we're gonna look at one match in Masters because that's the final match and she pushed me all the way to Grand, okay? So I'm gonna talk about her build here. I gave her one crit and one lethal. This is to really maximize her damage output because you want to increase the crit rate and lethal rate of Rin so that her skills do a lot of damage. And as you know, her skills have very high damage multipliers, and I will touch on that in the next match, okay? So for her armor, I've given her double HP. You won't want to give her counter for sure, and you can also go with HP block if you decide to want more bulk for her via block. For her jewels, I've given her increased awakening gauge charge speed, crit rate, and also cooldown increased immunity. The reason why I'm giving her cooldown increased immunity is because this goes against the skills of other Zaharas, or in this case like Ace, he actually applies cooldown increase. So if you have too many cooldown increases on the field, you can get locked down, and Rin does have a pretty long cooldown. Increase awakening gauge so that she can quickly use her 5-man AoE and smash the enemies. Crit rate of course is beneficial to boost her crit rate. You could also go with lethal rate if you like, or even both for her jewels. Magic attack increase, the Dark Knight jewel or the boss jewel are also good options. Accessory wise, I've given her the height, 7 turns of height with the willful ring. So the main reason is because I don't have another madness, but I think she can also use the height pretty well so that she doesn't get countered and she can preserve some bulk, just some bulk, okay? For her traits, I've given her silence resist, burn resist, and crit rate increase. So silence resist is to go against enemies' scouts, enemies' cows, and then burn resist is for Zahara's awakened skill. And of course, crit rate increase is to boost the chance of her using crit, and you can also go for lethal or increase damage on other types in future if the need arises. So I'm going to talk about her skills in this match. In this match, she moved quite a bit, so I thought that this would be a good match to talk about her skills. Of course, as we know, for her passive, she boosts magic attack for all allies, and in this case, in my team, there's only Scout, which is the other magic ally. So it's not put to a lot of use, but definitely, at least it still supports another fellow ally. And then she also boosts her own lethal damage. So over here, this is her top skill. Her top skill is a 3-target skill, deals more damage to defensive heroes and also cleanses debuff. So that is a very useful skill to have, and particularly is also my favorite because I think it does a lot of damage. This is the single target skill. It decreases the single enemy's attack by 60%. I don't think it is super useful. Okay, it can do a lot of damage definitely, but the reduction on one hero is slightly, underwhelming. And her awakened skill is purely more damage oriented and also deals more damage to defensive, and that's about it. Okay, so there's nothing too unique about her skill set, it's just very damage based. And the thing is, I'm thinking, what if Evan is no longer around? Then that sideline effect that deals more damage to defensive is gonna just not be put into use. So that means it will become just a pure damaging skill. So that's not very exciting in my opinion, but I guess this makes her a unit that exists to check for defensive enemies so that, tank teams will think twice about coming back into the arena if Rin is still around. And if tank teams do come back to the arena, then, Rin can always make her comeback because she is meant to counter defensive units. So that's basically my opinion of her skill set. I think it is strong numbers wise, but exciting? No, not really. So for Rin's power, I think it is very strong with the right setup, because for Rin herself, she lacks crit and lethal rate increases. Okay, even on her exclusive item, she increases defense instead. So you really need to increase these rates in order for her to do a lot of damage. And that's where her main power comes from, when all these multipliers are stacked, because she also ignores defense on all 3 of her skills. So And moving on to her bulk, I think she is pretty decent for a Myth Awakened hero and for a magic hero. Or maybe because I already have the height on her, so she doesn't take too much damage for the first 7 turns. I'm not too sure how she will be if she is using other accessories, but she does feel like a glass cannon sometimes, okay. And that survival on 1 HP is very crucial because it does give you a chance to redeem a little bit more damage. And hopefully, you know, if your damage multiplier is high enough, that's why I'm always stressing on the damage multiplier. If it is high enough, it can potentially be the turning point of your whole match. As for Rins synergy wise, I think she works very well with your magic team, definitely. So Scoot, Freya, Noah, and maybe in future Tara or Arang are all very good heroes to go with Rin, okay? Heroes that boost lethal like Atalanta are also very useful for her because Rin does have lethal damage increase, don't forget that. So that's one factor you can keep in mind, that is to boost her lethal to a very high amount so that the lethal damage multiplier can kick in. Otherwise, there's no point having a lethal damage increase if she doesn't even proc her lethal, am I right? But the thing here currently in the team is that you have Zahara, and for my team I don't have another Pentagon unit, so if I face a Chris, okay, he is going to survive in his zombie mode, and that is probably the risk I'm taking right here. And I did met some Chris's prior to these matches, and yeah, it posed a little problem because he didn't die. So that's the only thing here. If you want to build a team around Rin, I think it is possible, but that means you probably have to sacrifice a very good unit like Zahara. And if the meta shifts again, you know, such that teams lack another Pentagon unit, then Chris may even come back. So who knows, everything is just gonna shift around. The thing I want to highlight in this particular match, okay, is that you see that I'm on a losing end and I'm against a defensive team. And I think one of the reasons why I lost here is because my Rin really didn't move for the first half of the battle. So by the time it reached to this point, there was no way I could salvage it anymore. So yeah, so it doesn't really mean that as long as you have Rin, you're gonna guarantee a win against a defensive team. That's not always the case, okay, as that match has shown. So in this final match, my Rin actually didn't move at all. I'm gonna use the enemy's Rin to comment about Rin. And it's also a good talking point whereby you can see how in future, if more teams have Rin, how you can actually prepare yourself to go against another Rin. And I think to counter Rin, you really need other damage heavy units, okay? And you probably, maybe universal heroes could be stepping in, because universal heroes do have sufficient bulk and they are not subjected to Rin's additional multipliers on defensive heroes. And there's also not many options that we do have actually. We don't have heroes who reduce magic damage taken themselves, so we don't have any heroes that are good against magic teams, and heroes that reduce magic attack are also really lethal, with Rin being one herself and Dylan's as well. So these are the other alternatives if you want to think about countering Rin. And yep, as you saw, Rin didn't use her skill at all, she still won. At least she supported Scoot very well. Scoot's damage is insane right now. Okay, so that's all I have for the Rin video. I hope I gave you a very good coverage of her, and let me know in the comments what you think of Rin. Stay tuned for more guides coming your way. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much and see you!